What's up, college football fans? Welcome to another episode of Bleav in the Big Ten. I am Brandon Brown, joined as always by Grant Perry. And Grant, we are just a mere 10 days away from the first college football game of the season, week 0, August 23rd, Iowa State, Kansas State, over across the pond, if you will, noon kickoff, which this week 0 thing's been around for a little bit, but usually week 0 is like night game. You know, they kind of hype up maybe one game. Maybe this is a pretty good matchup, top 25, but it's noon because it's overseas. I think it's in Dublin, Ireland, if we're not mistaken. All I'm trying to say is that it's close. This is not the Kansas State, Iowa State. Big Ten fans don't care about that, but it's close. We're almost there. We are approaching the final turn in the home. I think once you get to single digits, like you're really locking in. So we're just a day away from being single digits from the first college football game of the season. It's still pretty hot out. Haven't quite got that fall crisp nighttime air kicking in just yet. But Grant, you've been removed from the game for a little while now, if I can say that politely. You're turning into quite the dapper young gentleman. I don't know if we can still. You're what is it, 10 years, I think we said, from your freshman season, 10 years removed?
Yep, just about.
Do you still get the football ache, the football body, football bones about this time when you'd be doing fall camp and you'd know that game is just a couple weeks away?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And I'll relate it in this sense. It's the feeling is more so because when you're playing, when you're in that mode, like that's a whole different beast. Like you're really like preparing to go attack somebody and physically try to move a man against their will.
Fair.
Like now, like I haven't hit the weight room. I've lost a little bit of weight. Feeling is more so when you're a kid and Christmas is coming and it's like, man, I can't, like, I'm so excited. Santa, like that's how I'm feeling, man. I can't wait. First week 0, like, I mean, no Big Ten teams, but I'm going to watch as many of the games as I can, like 15 ranked Kansas State, I believe, or Iowa State's playing. Like, I can't wait. I'm excited. Like, I've been trying to figure out content to assist with during these podcasts in this off season, but man, like, just get me to some football, man. And we're almost there.
Almost there. So our first episode, we decided to go and talk about the quarterbacks of the Big Ten. Who do we like? Who do we think could surprise? Who's going to thrive in a new system? Some transfer guys, some small school guys moving up, some guys with some different jerseys on than they had on last year. All of the above. We both settled on Drew Aller at number 1. And we had some similar guys in there. Nico Iamaleava coming from Tennessee over to UCLA. We both like Damon Williams quite a bit out at Washington. Like, we had some similarities. Today I decided, you know what, Grant, let's talk about our top 5 coaches in the Big Ten. And once we started kind of thinking about it, I said, oh, by the way, this is not like who's done what. This is not like, wins versus losses. This is, if you're starting Grant Perry University right now, like, and your football program is getting ready to embark on its first season, which coach do you want running your program? And that's full disclosure. That gave us an opportunity to put this list together pretty quickly without doing much research. I'm not going to lie. We just wanted to get this thing going and get some content out there. But it's up for debate. I expect our list to be quite different. I would expect if we grab 10 other people, their list to be very different. And that's kind of that's what podcasts should be about. It's about talking. It's about debating. You've something that you want to listen to. I don't want to drone on and talk about, Kirk Ferentz has been doing it for 29 years. He wins 10 games. Like, that's great.
Yeah, we've heard that.
And no shot at Kirk Ferentz. He's a fine coach. But, like, I'm just saying, if I was starting a team, he's not my number 1 pick. He's not anywhere near the top for me, as all the people in Iowa send hate mail and try to find out where I live at. That being said, Grant, we came up with our own top 5, and we're going to start at number 5. I believe you got us going first last time. I would love for you to get us going again. Mr. Grant Perry, who do you have as your number 5 coach in the Big Ten? And again, there's a little nuance here. Who do we like personally? Who would we maybe want to play for? Grant did do that. Who would be the ideal guy to get your program off the ground as of August 13th, 2025?
Let's go, man. All right. So I love the setup you had there, right? Grant Perry University, setting up the university, right? Who are you going to elect as your leader and commander? And like you just said there, I played. So I'm going to take a little bit of the approaches. I'm going to attend my own school, and hopefully I get to play for this guy, and I'll give you a reason or two why. So coming at number 5, did some research, and I didn't not much research. Did some looking at the list and looking at these guys and trying to figure out what I was feeling. So at the 5th spot, I'm going to go to IU. Give me Kirk Cignetti.
Wow.
And I do that because, one, he just screams like he's a player's coach, man. It looks like he cares about his players and what's going on in that building more than, he's willing to take some hits in the media. He's willing to say some things that might cause some scrutiny. But when it comes to those players in the building, he seems like a player's coach. He seems loyal. I mean, shit, he brought half of James Madison with him. He's like, hey, guys, you want to come have some fun? You want to come play in the playoffs? Come on, let's go. Let's go do it. So then, too, that brings me to my next point. It does things his way, loyal to his guys, but also he's winning, too, man. It had a great first season there at IU, got to the playoffs, in which really wasn't a close game, made it look like a close game versus Notre Dame. They're late. And excited to see what he's going to do this year, man. But give me Kirk Cignetti at 5, players coach, doesn't care about the media, just willing to go out there and say what he needs to say, get his guys riled up, loyal to his guys. Kirk Cignetti at 5 for Grand Prairie University.
I like Kirk Cignetti a lot. In fact, apparently I like him more than you. So I'm not going to say too much right now because I have him a little later on in this list. But you really don't. I mean, we said we didn't do a lot of research. We're not just going to go straight wins, losses, accomplishments. But how do you not look at what he did at Indiana in year 1 and say that guy can do it? Like, look what he did at James Madison. Then he comes to Indiana. Just imagine if he was at a Grand Prairie University with unlimited resources. And no, I don't. By the way, Perry University, there is a real one. It's in Georgia. I don't know where you were going to be located at. There also is obviously a Brown University, in the Ivy League, right? So
yeah.
We're both stepping on toes a little bit here. But for Brown University, my number 5 coach that I would love, I think he would be, he's kind of like Kirk Cignetti in my mind, honestly. Doesn't, kind of speaks off the cuff. Players seem to love him. Has been billed as a program builder. Might not be the most popular pick. I'm curious to see what you think and what listeners think. I'm going Matt Rhule. Matt Rhule at number 5. I know everybody in Nebraska is waiting for someone to get it going. It didn't work out with Scott Frost. He was supposed to be the savior coming back. It just didn't happen. Now Matt Rhule is there. He did great things at Baylor, went to the NFL. That wasn't really his bag. Now he's back in college where I think he's much, much better suited. I don't know what it is about Nebraska. I mean, that's a storied program that used to be a machine. They used to bowl over everybody. I don't know if it's, it's hard to recruit there. It's not a hotbed of talent. They have donors. They've got money. And now with NIL and now with, rev sharing, like maybe they can turn some things around. But I like Matt Rhule as a dude. I like how he talks. I like how he has built programs from the bottom up before. I think he's going to be pretty good at Nebraska. Give me Matt Rhule at number 5 for me.
I love that pick. And when you said it, I was like, man, like when I get Matt Rhule content on my phone, man, I stop and I watch. Like there's different things. He's in the weight room doing these like fun drills with his players, like keeping cones on his back, trying to slap the players' hands. Whether he's out on the field getting coaches to run and race other kids on the team. That's a really good pick. I think if I could go back and have a sleeper pick, he'd be in there for sure. Matt Rhule, excited to see what he's going to do. But I think that's a really solid pick. Seems like a really just players coach, cool.
I like the guy.
And seems like, but when he needs to, he'll get on your ass. And that's what you need as a player and as a university too. Remember, we're trying to find our coach for our universities here.
That's right.
All right. So moving to 4.
Number 4.
All right, coming in at number 4, we're going to go hard nose, kind of an old school mentality.
Ooh, I know where you're going.
Tends to beat his rivals. Great recruiter, brings in good classes, waiting to see what he's going to do when he gets his guys in. But give me Sharon Moore from the University of Michigan. And like not a big sample size, right? 1 year being a head coach, 7-5. But if you're a prospect and you're watching how that end of the season went, you're seeing, wow, okay, Ohio State, boom, Bama, boom, right? Win 3 out of your last 4. Like, you're like, okay, like even when things aren't going well, they still have heart. They still got fight. Like, I love the way that they play, beat their rivals. They're bringing in top recruits, Bryce Underwood, etc. As a player, it's going to be hard to say no, not to play with Bryce, and a coach that just wants to get in there and grind gears, and a guy that's done it too. Oklahoma, the tackle, big guy himself. Guy that knows the game, knows the system. Give me Sharon Moore at 4 for hard-nosed mentality, man. He wants to win, wants to do it the old school way, beats his rivals, and he knows how to recruit his tail off.
I thought of this, and I should have said this at the very beginning because I remember thinking it when we were getting ready to fire up this episode. I have found myself to be so pro offense when it comes to football that it's almost embarrassing. Like my dad would be like, "How dare you?" And most Michigan fans and the old school Michigan fans, run the ball and defense. Like I like offense. I like versatile quarterbacks. I like putting dudes in a position to succeed. Grant, I don't know if you knew this. We haven't talked about this really. I once played wide receiver myself, not at a very high level, but I did. Nothing makes me happier than seeing receivers run free. Like you see some offenses week after week after week where receivers are just schemed open and they're like, it's one of the best players in the country. You might want to guard that guy. I'm getting to my point here as I'm about to name my number 4 coach. And this is me sacrilegious, Grant. You might throw your hat. Michigan fans, if they're listening, they're going to turn me off. I've been in the Michigan market. I'm going Ryan Day. I know Michigan's had his number. I know I like to make fun of him as a Michigan guy. I think the beard is just ridiculous. But again, offense, winning at a high level, winning a lot of games. I mean, shoot, they are the reigning national champs, whether you think it was warranted or not because of how they lost to an average Michigan team at the end of the year. He recruits. He coaches offense. He puts dudes in the league. He's very sharp. I mean, whether you like him as a guy or not, he's sharp, man. I remember when the first Big Ten media days after Urban Meyer left and Ryan Day took over, and I didn't know anything about him really at the time. I didn't have any opinions formed about him as a guy and, crying on the field after Michigan beats him and all that stuff. This dude is sharp, man. The way he speaks, he's all business. He's going to get it done. He's going to know exactly what's going on every minute of every day for his program. He's not a fan favorite around my neck of the woods. And obviously as a Michigan guy, it's hard for me to say, but I think you could do a lot worse than Ryan Day. He's my number 4.
I like that pick. I mean, hey, from an unbiased perspective, I mean, that's a good place for sure. Agree with everything you said. I mean, gets those receivers open. Those guys, I mean, looks like they're just running on air sometimes. Moving to 3, at the 3rd spot for Perry University, I want a guy that's won. He's won at the places he's been. He hasn't won the biggest one. He develops quarterbacks to become the best players in the country. His team may be a little flashy at times, but flash sells, and people like flash and glitz and glamour. But give me the laid back, give me cool Lincoln Riley. Excuse me, I almost messed up that intro, man. But give me Lincoln Riley at my 3rd spot. Wherever he's been, he's had a quarterback that's gone on win the Heisman. It's gone on in the NFL. It's done well, which usually tracks for offensive, production for a team. It's being an offensive guy myself, I like seeing that. Defense, obviously, we got to work on defense a little bit there at USC. But I mean, he's raking in the number 1 recruiting class right now. I think they got like 28, 29 guys, like a boatload of 5 stars and 4 stars, just fluctuate in there. So give me Lincoln Riley. Give me him to bring Hollywood back. I want Hollywood at Perry University. Give me a Heisman at quarterback, and we'll worry about winning there later on the road. But give me that flash.
Well, how about this? How about Perry University and Brown University battling out for number 3, Lincoln Riley? How about that?
Hey, now.
I also have Lincoln Riley at number 3 for a lot of the same reasons. He's on the younger side. I think there's some dudes who just they have something about them. You get above 50, 55, and it doesn't matter. But I think in a lot of cases, youth is the way to go. I really do. I mean, you look at a lot of the dudes on this list and the way college football and even the NFL, coaches are getting younger and younger, and they're finding success. And Lincoln Riley, I don't know if he's 40 yet. I think he's under 40. If he is 40, he's right around there. So he still gets it. He could do the Hollywood thing, like you said. He's out there in LA. He's recruiting extremely well. He does know how to recruit, develop, and play quarterbacks. He does know how to score points. Could work a little bit on the defensive side of the ball. But I like everything about Lincoln Riley. A lot of times, and I'm sure other employers, there are things that are more important, but do you want to sit down and have a lunch with a guy? Do you want to have a beer with a guy? Like, I would sit down and hang out with Lincoln Riley. That's not the case for all the coaches on this list, right? And I think that's important. The relatability, talking to parents, talking to your staff, raising money, fundraising. I mean, all of that stuff. I think Lincoln Riley shines in all of those roles. Defensively, he probably could do a little bit better, and that would make USC a better football team overall. But he's done a lot of really good things. He's won at a high level, and he has certainly figured out arguably the most important position on the field, and that's quarterback. And I think that goes a long way on his resume. So Grant, get your contract ready, because I'm putting a big number on there if I'm going after Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, it's going to cost a lot. Yeah. But I agree with you there. Lincoln Riley is a guy that you definitely want to have a beer with. I've gone on YouTube and I've watched different, teaching seminars and coaching clinics and whatnot, and he's got a lot on there. And I usually love the ones that are like 40 to an hour long, just because like that's when the coaches really get into like the nitty gritty and the small details. And that's what I'm there for. I want to hear how they're coaching that position. And when you watch Lincoln Riley give these seminars and these speeches, man, it's just, he's so smooth, so calm, and just like, hey, this is our check here. If we don't do it like it there, we're going to go backside. Like, he's a guy that I'd have a beer with. I feel like one day of sitting in his office going over install one, it'd be automatically in my brain. Like, he just seems like he has a good system, and I evidently so with the production at quarterback.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We're down to our top two here, Grant. Number 2 for Perry University. Who do you got?
Perry University. Okay, so for Perry University, this guy can recruit with the best of them. There is a threshold in which his team has to meet every year, regardless of the year, or it's an utter failure. Now there is some other asterisks in there that they need to be met, but each year they're expected to win 10, 11 games without a doubt, without a question. And if they don't, it's a failure. I want a guy like that on my team. I want a guy that just breathes excellence and knows how to get wins. As a contender in and out each year. I mean, they're always in the conversation, and they're not a reload. They're not a rebuild, excuse me. They're a reload type of program. Michigan faithful, I'm sorry, but I'm going Ryan Day at 2, man. Give me Ryan Day at 2. Yes, he hasn't beat his rival Michigan in 4 years. Yes, they just won the national championship, was a plus for Perry University. If he can recruit his tail off, man, he's got 5 stars just oozing out of that building. And that's what I want at my school, at Perry University. I want 5 stars. I want contention, and I want excellence year in and year out.
I knew you were going to have Ryan Day higher, because I had him at 4, and when we switched over, you didn't say much. I'm like, he's got something. He's got something loaded up for later. No, look, man, there are. Like I said it when I picked him, you could do a lot worse than him, and I know both of us are coming from our Michigan angle, and you swallow that down, and you can't deny the guy. You just can't. This goes back to the sit down and have a lunch or a beer. Maybe a quick lunch. Coach, thanks for. I don't know. Look, letting my bias speak out a little bit. I'm sure he's probably a fine person if you don't wear maize and blue on on weekends. But I was going to say he is the most successful coach on this list. If we were going to go a little bit more black and white and just look at the numbers, and
it's ridiculous. The win-loss it's stupid. It's stupid. It's like 800, 900 percentage. It's very impressive.
Been getting it done at a high level for a long time. Just
not every game though.
All right, number 2 is a guy that we've already mentioned. I'm probably higher on him than most. I just love the way he conducts himself. Dude, Google him. Just Google him. Curt Cignetti. Give me Curt Cignetti, because what he did at James Madison and then what he did at Indiana, I just remember thinking over and over and over, so many guys get a job off of like their tree or their name, or maybe they had a year or 2 as the hot coordinator, and then it just doesn't work out because they haven't built a program before. They haven't done all the things the CEO needs to do. They haven't put together a staff. Cignetti has shown that he is a master at that, and I couldn't help. There's been a handful of coaches like this throughout the years, but he might be the best of the best because of. I mean, look what he did at year 1 in Indiana. What if you gave him the keys to a place like Bama or like Michigan or like Notre Dame, with all those resources and all the talent that comes there without you really having to even try in some cases? Or down in Georgia, where you can just walk outside and grab 8 4-stars to come play for you, in that area. So I've always been very curious James, he wasn't going to go from James Madison to a place like Alabama or to a place like even USC or these blue blood programs. But I think if you handed him the keys and told him to figure out, he would. And at a place like Brown University, we want dudes like that. So I would take Curt Cignetti at number 2. And I'm guessing that we may have the same number 1 guy. I think we probably do. But Grant, go ahead and give yours first, and then I'll chime in.
I think we do. I think, by process of elimination, there's a good candidate still on the board. And I'm going to go ahead and scoop him up at number 1 here. And the reasons why, hell of a recruiter, man. Knows how to recruit, fiery dude. I mean, looks like you'd run through a wall for this guy. This is a guy that you might have one too many beers with, not just one. Looks like he knows how to hang out with the guys, if you know what I'm saying. And then how about, the new kid in class, shows up day 1 and says, I already know the answers. I'll ace the test, and wins the Big Ten. Give me Dan Lanning, first year in the Big Ten, wins it. Yeah. Following week wasn't the best, versus Ohio State. But year 1, you're looking for some fire. You got Dan Lanning, a guy that can recruit, a guy that's kind of been bred and born down there in that SEC. He knows the makeup of what the past 10 years of elite football looks like. Give me Dan Lanning to lead Perry University. I need recruits. I need a guy with passion. And I want a guy that can walk into a league and have confidence and say, I can win this thing. Let's go do it. Let's go roll the balls out there. So give me Dan Lanning for number 1. Sorry if I took a couple talking points there, partner.
That's all right. You did, but that's what happens when you settle on the same guy for a lot of the same reasons. I also have Dan Lanning at number 1. Here I am contradicting myself, taking a former linebacker coach, former DC, when I'm talking about how much I love offense. But his offenses at Oregon have been great as well. So even though he is a defensive background guy, he doesn't overlook that side of the ball. Like you said, he knows how to recruit everywhere. I mean, he's now succeeding up in the Pacific Northwest. He's got roots. He was born in Missouri. He coached at Georgia. I mean, he just feels like you kind of nailed it, man. Like, give me the guy who just knows how to get it done. I mean, he, like you said, walk into the test. I already got the answers. He feels like that kind of guy. 39 years old. Yeah, I'm sure he can put down some beers with the best of them. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't drink at all, but he looks like normal guy, fun guy. Talk to him, recruit, talk to parents, talk to the staff, talk to your boosters. Like, he's going to succeed in all areas. I don't really know if there's a weakness in him as a coach. Like, you can kind of go through coaches saying, he's not great on this side, like Lincoln Riley, not great on defense. We talked about Sharon Moore a little bit. Maybe quarterbacks yet to be seen. Like, there's some things. What's Dan Lanning not good at? I don't know if there's an answer there. I think he's pretty darn good at everything. He is a dude I would kind of want to hang out with. He's not very old, not even 40 yet. I think he checks off every box that you would want to check off when you're looking for a new head coach. Dan Lanning is my number 1 pick as well. So let's see. We had Lanning both at 1.
Yep.
We both had Cignetti and Day on our and Lincoln Riley. We both had it 3. We had Grant. That's pretty good, man. I mean, I'd have to say that we feel pretty good about the coaches in the Big Ten. I didn't have Sharon Moore in my top 5 for a few. I love Sharon Moore. He's the only one on this list I know personally, but for some of the reasons we outlined, I have him down my list a little bit. I had Jed Fish in the mix, guy that personally, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Washington. But I think our list, man, we had 1 and 3 exactly the same. Dan Lanning and Lincoln Riley.
Yep.
Ryan Day and Curt Cignetti flip-flopped, I think. Maybe, who'd you have at 5?
Cignetti.
I had Cignetti at 2. I had Day at 4. You had Sharon at 4.
Yeah, at 4.
I had Matt Rhule at 5. So, I mean, we did a blind list of 5 and we named 6 guys. Like, that's that's pretty good, I would say. And number 1, I guess the consensus number 1, Dan Lanning.
I'd say so.
That seems right. I think we got it.
I mean, he's a very highly regarded coach. I mean, there's not like you said, there's not a lot of things that Dan Lanning isn't doing correctly out there. The defense is looking good. Will Stein in that offense, the offensive coordinator, got that thing moving, man. I'm excited to see what Dante's going to do this year, man. So he's going to do in that role, having a year under his belt, sitting behind Dylan Gabriel there. So, I'm excited, dude. I think this is a good list. I think we're hitting the right points here as we get closer to the season, right? Top 5 quarterbacks, right? Who's going to be handling the football? Then let's talk about who's calling the plays for him, right? Who's the top 5 guys? And I think these two lists are good, man. I think, like you said, I think we hit it on the head. I think we hit the guys that get recognition and deserve it, and the rest is up for your interpretation, right? Whoever you want at your university, that's up to you, man.
That's right. Last thing, but then we're going to shut her down. Since it became one of our metrics, I didn't plan on this happening. Grant, 1 through 18, who would you most want to sit down and have a beer with? Who on this list are you going like, I just need to turn it loose tonight. I need to have some fun. I'm going to get a beer with. Dude. It's a layup for me.
Absolutely. I think I know who you're going to say. Let me just look through this again. I think I know who you're going to say. I'm going to write down the initials of who you're going to say.
All right. I think this is good.
And then I'll give you who I would say, because I'm not gonna lie, it's between Matt Rhule and Dan Lanning for me. I think, dude,
that's pretty good.
Like, you hit it on the head earlier when you talk about Matt Rhule, and just like he seems like just a cool dude, man, a guy that can really relate to his players, and then I'm looking, man, like it's gonna be hard not to include Dan in that group chat. Like, Dan, come on, dude, like let's go grab a brewski, man. Like He's like, all right, like let me put in this third down install, then I'll be there. Like
exactly.
But I'm gonna go there. And then my initials for who I think you're gonna pick.
Does he share them with me? Does he share them?
Yeah, yes, he does.
Absolutely. Brett Bielema. Let's go have 13 beers. Brett, Can we go get? He's like, forget this third down install. Let's go have a pitcher. That's why. And I actually think Brett Bielema is a great coach. He was at number 6 for me on my list. He was just outside of the top 5. I think he's a cool dude. He knows exactly how he wants to coach. I'm being obviously a little facetious. He takes his job very seriously, I'm sure. But he takes drinking a brewski pretty seriously, I think, too. He likes to eat. I'm just throw that out there. Big dude. He knows the spots. Where do you want to go? Let's go. I know the bartender. I know the waiters. Brett Bielema would be a good time to go hang out with. I probably would have Lanning and Rhule at 2 and 3. So I think, again, our lists are pretty strong, Grant. I think if you want to – anybody out there wants to fire up a university – here you go. Holler at your boys. We'll put together a staff that you will not be ashamed of.
Just figuring out where the importance of beer drinking is on the coach list is pretty important there. But to your Illinois point, I got a buddy at Illinois coaching, and nothing but good things said about Bielema. Like, just everyone, like, just a players coach through and through, like, cares about the players first. And he's been around the block, man. He's been around some other coaches, and he's been in the Big Ten at Wisconsin, man. He's done it. Like, he had a great year last year, looking for another one this year. I think Bielema could rise, especially if Illinois has a good year this year. I think he'd be at 2 on my list this year.
Seems to do more with less a lot. You like coaches like that. You don't want the ones that do less with more, and there's a few of those out there too. So I like Brett Bielema. I know there's some funny pictures of him out there on the internet. He's falling down during the team walk. It's like he's just a lovable big old dude. It's endearing, man. You need a little bit of that in your coach. You need someone, like you said, to get on you every once in a while, but I think he can flip it the other way too. For Perry University and Brown University, he's Grant. I'm Brandon. Keep it locked. We'll be back next time. Thanks a lot.